raise feature to queue your question, and I will call on you. Our first question will come from Sons of KS. Questions in the chat. Sons of KS, if you win against RNG, who would you like to play in the final? Would you prefer to play against T1 or G2?
Who's going?
Inspired.
If you beat RNG, I would obviously prefer to play against G2 because I think G2 is easier to beat than T1.
Next question, Benjamin Mock from Fragster.
My question is for Impact. How does it feel to be in the semi-finals of a big major international event again?
Impact is not here.
Yeah.
It's only me and Inspired.
My apologies. We were missing. Sorry. Just to both EG players then, how does it feel to be in like the semi-finals of a major international tournament?
I mean, it's crazy, you know. Playing against one of the best teams in the world at semi-finals internationally. I'll just take it as a learning experience. So yeah.
For me, I don't know. It doesn't really feel special yet. Maybe it will feel special when we will start playing on stage. But right now, it just feels like another international tournament.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Next question is from MGG, Leo.
Hello guys, so my question are for both of you. So during the Rumble stage, you play 2 times against RNG. I mean for EG, sorry. You played 2 times against RNG and you lost 2 times. So do you think that it could be different this time during the knockout stage?
I mean, of course, we expect that we can compete with them and beat them in a best of 5. I mean, that's the mindset you should have going in if you're going to verse one of the top Chinese teams. So yeah, we're gonna, and we've always been better on best of 5s too. So yeah.
I think when we lost to them, I think they also made some mistakes in those games, but we are just not ready to punish those. But yeah, I think in best of 5, I expect us to be a bit worse team, but I think they are also not perfect, and I can see them make mistakes. You just need to be ready to be there to punish those, and yeah, hopefully we will be able to do it well.
And just a reminder to journalists, you can ask questions to both EG and RNG, and we'll submit the appropriate translations. Next question is from Grill News. Question for Jojo Pian. How do you feel this being your first international tournament?
How does it feel? I mean, obviously it feels good that we made it this far in an international tournament, but also I feel like we can go further. I think I learned a lot in this tournament too. So, I mean, I think it's just been a really good experience so far.
All right, final English question, Fernando Pavia.
Oh, hi. So my question is for Inspire. I would like to know, how do you feel was your adaptation coming from the EU and into the NA? And how do you feel that EG is now compared to when you arrived? And what do you think was the biggest improvement you have to go through? And how do you feel the team now?
I don't know about the adaptation. I guess I had to adapt to the new teammates. I think in Rogue we had a bit different play style. I think we're more bot lane focused, and bot lane was carrying the games while other lanes were farming. And I feel like here in EG it's a bit different. We play mostly through top side while our bot lane is farming. So it's not really, I mean, it seems like a big change, but for me it was easy to adapt. And what changed the most, I think we just were not good at anything at the beginning. We didn't really know how to move around the map and stuff like that. And I think Jojo just had to learn a lot of this. And after that, I felt like it was just easy for me and Impact to like call in the game to what we want to do, and everyone is on the same page now.
Thank you.
We will now take questions from Korean speaking media. Sumin.
네, 한국 매체 기자님들 질문 부탁드리겠습니다. 네, 게임 포커스 신은서 기자님과 인벤 장민영 기자님께서 질문 주셨고, 우선 신은서 기자님 질문부터 하겠습니다. 양 팀이 생각하기에 이번 노가 스테이지에서 집중해야 하는 라인은 어디라고 생각하십니까?
For both teams, which lane do you guys want to focus on in that knockout stage? Which will be the focal lane?
You're saying like when we verse RNG, what lane will we focus on the most? Like focus on like exploiting, or
Whichever you want to
I mean, I think we'll try focusing on every lane. I mean, if I had to pick one lane, I don't know. Maybe Inspired knows, but
Yeah, I think game will be mostly around mid. It looks like RNG plays, they really like to fight around the mid to side lanes, and I think that's how they beat us in the second game. They just won the early fight mid, and then the game exploded very fast. So I think if you give them a room to move around the map, they will just finish the game very fast. So we need to try to fight them there.
你说什么？就是说要注意哪条线路？是对面吗？就注意对面哪条线。我觉得打一的话，还是更多的注意我们自己吧。就是我不管是帮到我们的中路还是下路的话，都可以去进行游走，就解放队友吧。然后帮到我们上路的话，就是上路也是很容易造成1打2的这种情况吧。
So the answer from Wei is maybe I would like to put more attention on ourselves performance, but I think maybe I'll try to focus on our mid or bot lane, because the mid, after I helped our mid and bot lane, I think they can have some very good roamings to help the whole team to open the situations. And maybe I'll try to go to the top lane as well, because there can be so many 1v2 skirmishes in the top lane.
네, 다음 질문은 인벤 장민영 기자님께서 RNG에게 해주신 질문입니다. 작년 MSI 4강에서 뽀삐 코치님께서 먼저 경기를 하는 게 단점이 있다고 말씀을 하셨었는데 올해 다시 합 경기를 선택하신 이유를 듣고 싶습니다.
음. 说实话，对于选手来言，不管是先打比赛还是后打比赛，都各有各的优势吧。如果后打比赛的话，就可以保持一个比较好的手感，进行一个就是短时间的2场比武吧。然后先打的话，就是可能更容易的去研究一下对手吧。对，因为我们这次也是就是获得了小组第1的出线机会嘛，然后也是可以自由的选择一些东西，这也是我们的权利。
So the answer from Xiaohu is, I think as a pro player, I think play on each day have some advantage respectively. Maybe played on the second day, we'll have a back-to-back best of 5, so we can have some warmed up before the grand final. But if we played on the first day, maybe we can have more time to analyze our potential opponents. So I think because we were able to get out of the Rumble stage as a top seed, so choosing which day we can have the best of 5 is just our right.
네, 다음 질문은 디스이즈 게임 김승주 기자님 질문입니다. RNG 샤오 선수에게 질문입니다. RNG가 이지에게 있어 어떤 부분에 대해서 강점을 가지고 있고 어디에서 충분한 승산이 있다고 생각하는지 궁금합니다.
其实，在不管对战什么队伍的时候，我都是希望就是中路可以以中路为引导来主导比赛吧。然后我也会尽力去打好自己的线，然后那个联系好自己的队友。
I think the Xiaohu's answer is no matter what kind of situations we are under or played under, I would like to just maybe play around the mid lane, and then I can make some roamings to do other stuff to help my teammates to open the whole situations.
对, 다음 질문입니다. 다음 질문은 이제 조조편 선수에게 질문입니다. 한국계 두 가지 질문이고요. 한국계 캐나다인이라는 게 맞는지, 맞다면 한국에서 국제대회를 치르는 소감이 어떠신지, 그리고 또 하나는 트래시 토크로 상당히 유명하신 편인데 맞상대할 샤오 선수에게 선전포고로 한마디 하실 의향이 있으신지 궁금합니다.
We have two questions for Jojo Pian. First off, I heard you're Korean Canadian. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm
And-
raised in Canada, but my parents are Korean.
Okay, thank you. So how do you feel to participate in an international event hosted in Korea? And the second question is, you are also very well known for your trash talks. Do you have any message over to Xiaohu ahead of the knockout stage?
For the first question, I mean, I really like Korea, especially the food and the scenery and everything. I mean, it's really nice, and also the people are nice too. So, I mean, I can't really see anything that I would dislike about Korea. And I came here before, and every time it's been great. So, yeah. And for the second question, I mean, we'll just have to see. I mean, I think we're really confident in versing RNG after our 2 games, and we realized a lot of mistakes that we made. So, I think we're really trying to fix those up, and I think we'll be a good challenge.
네, 한국 매체 마지막 질문입니다. 포머스 성기훈 기자님께서 질문 주셨고 RNG에게 질문 주셨습니다. 럼블 스테이지 막바지에 G2의 경기력이 그리 좋아 보이지 않았는데도 불구하고 이지를 4강 대결 상대로 지목하신 이유가 있나요?
嗯，就是单纯的想看跟 G2 去进行一个小手碰撞吧，我认为会非常的有趣。
The main reason is I would like to see the best of 5 between G2 and T1. That will be a very interesting best of 5.
We will now take questions from Chinese speaking media. Roxy?
好的，我们现在将接受中文媒体的提问。提问第一个问题给到 Inspire 选手，与微交手过2次，与他在野区对抗的体验是怎么样的？
The first question is over to Inspired. You have played against Wave twice, so how do you feel about meeting him in the jungle?
I think Wei is just very aggressive with his teams. With his team, I think they play well through mid jungle. They will always be there to fight you and punish if you make mistake, or if you don't really try to fight them back, they will punish one of your side lanes. So They're for sure the most aggressive duo to play against. So you need to be always very focused when you face them to not make mistakes and don't give them too much freedom in the game.
好的，下一个问题想问一下 RNG 的2位选手，谁来回答都可以。打了这么长时间的线上赛，认为线上与线下打 MSI 相比，队伍面临的最大挑战是什
么？我觉得线上 MSI 的话，首先，对于我选手个人而言的话，我是非常渴望线下就是在有观众、有那种氛围感的情况下去进行一个比赛的。然后这是我觉得最可惜的一个地方。然后的话，在其他方面的话，我认为我们的很多设备都不够专业，然后也不能就是非常完美的就是进行一个就是100%对调的比赛中的一些东西吧，这是我也觉得比较遗憾的地方。
So the question is, this question is over to either of the RNG players. So you guys played for such a long time to have the remotely games. So compared to like played in the arena, what's the biggest challenge faced by the team? And Xiaohu's answer is, as a pro player, that I really have a very strong willing in play in the arena to play in the arena to hear all the yellings and cheerings from the audience. So I feel really pity that we can't go to South Korea to have this MSI, and I think play remotely. We really got a lot of difficulties. Maybe we are not under a professional equipment, so we can't 100% solve all the stops. So that's a pity for us.
与其说这次参加 MSI 与以往不同，倒不如说在近2年的比赛当中，其实，我可能会将每一场比赛都视为就是职业生涯末期的就是一场比赛去打吧，然后也想尽量的认真的，然后去carry每一场比赛。
This question is over to Xiaohu, attending to MSI this year. Do you feel any difference from your previous experience? So how do you feel about this tournament? And his answer was, in terms, I don't think there's so much difference, but I would like to treat every single game as very crucial. I would like to put 100% attention to every single game to try to carry the game, to try to help my team to get the win.
下一个问题想问到威，最近看到你们经常玩大乱斗和无限火力，RNG 整个队伍是非常喜欢这种游戏方式吗？
没了。就是玩大乱斗和无限火力的话，就是热热手吧，然后去准备训练赛或者排位吧。
This question is over to Wei. We have noticed besides solo ranks, you guys really played like ARAM a lot of times. So do you guys really enjoy this kind of entertainment? And his answer was, yeah, maybe we treat those kind of mode as the warm up. Maybe we'll just play 1 or 2 before our practices or between the scrims.
下一个问题问到小虎选手，你能预测一下 T1 和 G2 的比赛结果吗？你进入决赛的，如果你们能战胜1G 进入决赛的话，你们更想和 Caps 交手还是 Faker 交手？
首先因为 G2 在小组赛后半程的发挥也是比较不尽人意嘛，我觉得他们如果可以调整过来的话，是有希望战胜 SKT 的。但是如果没有及时的调整好自己的状态的话，也有可能会直接被3-0拿下吧。然后的话，在决赛，我们如果战胜EG进入决赛当中，这两支队伍其实我都想遇到，因为曾经都在那个 B5中输给过他们，所以说不论遇到哪一支的话，我都是会非常有激情的去战胜他们的。
This question is over to Xiaohu. So could you make a prediction about the score in the matchup between G2 and T1? If you guys were able to get the win against EG in the final, who would you like to face, Caps or Faker? His answer was, I think based on the G2's performance in the second round of the Rumble stage, they didn't manage to show a very good performance. If they could have a very good adaptation, maybe they got a chance to win. But if they are not on a very good form, maybe T1 can get a win with a 3-0 scoreline. And I would like to face both of them because we got a loss in best of fives previously in facing Caps or Fakers. So I would like to face any of them.
好的，最后一个中文问题，想问一下小虎，选择从中单打到上单，然后去年 MSI 是上单，从中单打到上单，然后在 MSI 现在又是中单的位置，请问，现在上单小虎和中单小虎比较的话，谁会更强一点？
首先我觉得就是我之所以能够顺利的，就是在上单打出一些风采来，首先离不开我队友的帮助吧。然后因为就是我在春季赛的时候，其实，在游戏理解上还 OK， 但是在对线上面可能就是做的并不是那么好，后边也是渐渐成长起来的嘛。然后还有一点就是因为我在中单的时候也是比较喜欢一个就是偏支援偏分带，包括在打团上有比较好的一个发挥吧，所以这也是我在上单可以发挥出色的一个主要原因。
The question is over to Xiaohu. So you played in the mid lane and then switched to the top lane, and now the mid lane Xiaohu got back on the stage of 2022 MSI. So last year you were the top laner, and this year the mid laner again. So who do you think will be stronger one, the mid lane Xiaohu or the top lane one? His answer was, I think based on my experience, maybe last year's as a top laner, I really need some help from my other teammates. Maybe I have a quite good understanding towards the game, but in terms of the laning phase as a top laner, I think I'm not that good from the beginning, but I just made some progress in the whole year. And as a mid laner Xiaohu, I think I really would like to play more supportive champions. I'd like to do some roamings to help other lanes, to help the whole teammates in order to get more leads. So, and I think this experience can also help me as a top laner as well.
All right, thank you, everyone. That concludes Media Day for EG and RNG. We have G2 and T1 up next, so stay tuned.
Hello. No. 可以吗？
So I'm not gonna lie to you. I was not impressed by some of the questions that were asked on the English speaking media side. I just felt they were like very. I don't know. I don't know. Like the problem with a lot of these things is like, sure, you have to ask some cookie cutter questions like how do you feel, etc. Like give players a chance to talk, but just like I don't know. There's got to be more like directed and poignant questions that you can ask. Like the one that I was gonna ask, Jojo Pune was 3 years ago when Impact was in the same spot for Team Liquid. You were still in school and watching this and basically competing in some capacity. Obviously, I'm extending my question as to rather versus what I was gonna say there. But what advice would you give to the kids that are now watching you and hoping to one day play alongside you in the same way they are with Impact? Like what advice would you give to them? What would you say? Actually, I might try and ask Flackid that question. Because I think that's who's... I think that's going to be who's...
All right, hello everyone. We have T1 and G2 for MSI 2022 Media Day. We will start with English speaking media questions first. Reminder to please direct your question to a specific player so that we may direct translation appropriately. Our first question, Benjamin Mock.
Hello, my question is for Caps and Flackid, sorry. So to Caps, this is your third MSI tournament. Does it feel any different to the ones that you've been to before? And how are you feeling in general about being here again? And to his teammate, how does it feel to be at an international tournament in your debut split in a major region, in a major region?
I can go first. Thank you for the question. I mean, every time feels a bit different. I mean, I'm at like, I guess, different points in my life. So say like it's a lot of different years. I think that I am super happy that we got to be here again. Last year was tough for me like that. I think every year though we've had a lot of very strong opponents, and this year is no exception. So I'm looking forward for the games, and I'm hoping we can get some fun matches like the other years.
I submitted my question. We'll see.
Okay. I mean, to me, it feels really insane to be here. This like a lot of people know that this is my first international tournament ever, so it's really hyped to be in a whole different country with like playing against the best teams of every single region of the world. So I'm really happy and really excited, especially to be with this team. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next games, and hopefully we can give some banger matches.
Again, these pauses are for translation to other languages in the same way that whenever Korean and Chinese outlets ask questions, there's a pause for them to say everything and then translate it for us.
Next question. Fernando?
Yes, hi, good afternoon. My question goes to Caps. Caps, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. If I remember correctly, last time you guys faced T1 was on Worlds 2019, where y'all came out with a 3-1. Been a while ago before pandemic and everything. So I want your opinion on how do you see the difference between that match and this match in an international scene? And how do you feel the team is now, if you guys continue with the same always good mood, and how you guys feel for this match against T1 after 2 years, 3 years actually?
I mean, I think both teams are very different. I guess a few players stayed the same, but I guess the meta has shifted a lot, and also a lot of new players. So it feels like, I guess, two complete new teams. So I think the matchup will look very different than last times we met them, but I'm hoping so. Of course, the result can stay the same. I think a big part of it is, of course, the meta shift, which means that there will be different champions and different strategies being utilized. But yeah, in the end, I hope we can replicate what we did in the past.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next question, Centinella, Eddie.
Hi, my question is for Flacker and for Gumayusi. G2 and T1 have one of the biggest rivalries in the international stage. I mean, it's like the representation between East and West. How do you feel, Gumayusi and Flacker, being part of this new generation of players that's taking on this like role of bringing the biggest banger games to the fans?
일단은 G2랑 T1 그 서로 라이벌 구도가 있고 되게 19년도 때 G2한테 호되게 당한 걸로 아는데 지금은 많이 다르다고 생각을 하고 저희가 잘 하면 이길 수 있다고 생각하고요. 뭐 이런 구도, 라이벌 구도 같은 거에서는 되게 재밌게 볼 수 있는 요소라 생각하고 그 자리에 제가 있다는 거에 상당히 뿌듯합니다.
I mean, to me, it feels really insane to be here and playing against the one. Still, something is kind of like hard to believe. It still feels like I'm dreaming. But for sure, I'm really happy to be playing with this like this caliber of AD carries like Gala and Gumayusi. I think they're like probably the best AD carries right now in the world. So for me, it's really like really insane and really hype playing against these guys. I think for me, I still need to some more time to become like as good as them or even better. But I think for sure for the games for the semifinals and if we make finals, I think me and Targa can play at their same level or even better.
The answer from Gumayusi was, I know there's a rivalry between T1 and G2, and I believe in 2019, T1 kind of got shut down by G2, but I think it's very different now, right now. And also, if we play well, I think we will get the victory. And I think this kind of rivalry adds a lot more fun to the matchup and hype things up. So I'm so proud that I'm part of it.
Okay, next question, Vitor Ventura, Mize Esports.
Hello, Caps. My question is for you. I want to know how you feel about once again you see yourself facing Faker on an important match in international stage. It was already mentioned this rivalry between T1 and G2, but back in the day you were once called Baby Faker. So I want to know, how do you see yourself in this situation, once again, as I said, facing Faker on an important match? Thank you.
Well, hello. I mean, I think it's awesome to go up against Faker again. I still remember season 3 watching him play Worlds, and I remember his Ari from back then, one-shotting everyone, and to play against his Ari now is a lot of fun. And I've always dreamed of playing Ari like that, and I've always dreamed of beating him and his like stronger champs like the Ari. So going up against him will be a huge honor, and it has always been so, like the games we played against him so far. And I just really want to take him down, especially on something that he's famous for, because I've watched so many of his games on stage and solo queue of him playing with a lot of these champs, like the champs he's very known for like Ari, LeBlanc, and if I can take them down, it would be a huge achievement for me. and I would love to be able to do that. So I'm gonna try my hardest to be in the best possible shape going up against them, and then maybe we'll be able to take them down.
Okay, final English question from Juan, Gaming Coffee. Juan, Gaming Coffee.
Hi, hello? Yes.
Oh, I see. Do you want me to speak it or do you want to type it?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. My question is for T1. We could see in the early stage very solid T1. Have you felt more pressure now?
This is a phenomenal example of exactly what I mean by questions not being what I don't know, what I would expect.
약간 초반 럼블 초반에는 살짝 있었던 것 같은데 이제는 좀 많이 내려놓은 것 같고 4강은 좀 부담 없이 그냥 잘 즐길 수 있을 것 같습니다.
저도 마찬가지로 이제 럼블 스테이지 초반에는 이제 G2와 RNG를 상대하면서 좀 무조건 이겨야 된다는 그런 부담감이 있었는데 이제 지금은 부담감 다 사라지고 그냥 좋은 퍼포먼스를 보여줄 수 있을 거라고 생각합니다.
In the beginning of the Rumble stage, this was Guma Yushi's answer. In the beginning of the Rumbles, yeah, I was feeling quite a bit of pressure, but now I think we were able to get rid of it. And I think we will be able to enjoy the match starting from the semifinals. And Carria also answered, same for me in the beginning of the Rumble stage, you know, I had this pressure to just like, we have to beat G2 and RNG in Rumble stage. So I was playing under a huge pressure, but it's gone now, and I'm pretty sure that we will be able to showcase great performance from now on.
Thank you.
We will now transition to Korean speaking media questions. Sumin.
네, 한국 매체 기자님들로부터 질문 받도록 하겠습니다. 앞서서 우선 질문 주셨던 한국경제 유주영 기자님 질문입니다. 구마유시 선수에게 질문 주셨고 럼블 스테이지 1라운드까지는 원딜 선수들이 주로 이즈, 칼리스타, 트리스타나 등을 기용했다가 2라운드 들어서 구마유시 선수가 아펠리오스를 꺼내드셨는데 그 이유가 궁금합니다.
일단은 그냥 원딜 밸류 그러니까 그냥 예 그거 칼리 이제 트타가 그렇게 높은 티어가 아니라 생각을 했고 그냥 아펠리오스는 그때 상황이 좋아가지고 했던 것 같습니다.
This question was over to Gumayusi. In round one, a lot of AD carry players played Ezreal, Kalista, and Tristana, and then you unlocked Aphelios in round two. I'm curious why. And his answer was, so I think it's mostly because of the value of AD carry. So we thought Kalista, Ezreal, and Tristana, their tier isn't that really high, and also Aphelios was a good fit in the given situation.
네, 다음 질문은 손 들어주신 포머스 김영근 기자님께서 질문해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
네, 감사합니다. 들리시나요?
네, 잘
예.
들립니다.
네, 저는 캐리아 선수께 질문 드리겠습니다. G2 1라운드와 2라운드 그리고 이제 세 번째 맞이하시게 됐습니다. 세 번째 맞이하시는 G2전에 대한 좀 소감 그런 걸 좀 듣고 싶고요. 지금 발전을 하면서 계속 이제 좀 안정된 모습을 보여주고 계시는데 그래도 G2전에 이제 쉽지 않은 경기가 될 것 같아서 그 부분에 대한 약간 좀 가지고 있는 생각, 약간 고민 그런 게 있다면 좀 들려주시면 감사하겠습니다.
이번 MS에서 꼭 다전제에서 G2랑 RNG 둘 다 만나고 싶었는데 저희가 G2랑 G2만 이긴다면 RNG까지 만날 확률이 되게 높다 생각해서 G2전 꼭 이기고 싶고 그리고 뭐 G2전 1라운드 끝나고 인터뷰에서 말했듯이 G2 상대로 저희가 본 실력만 제대로 보여준다면은 다전제에서 한 세트도 안 내주고 이길 거라고 자신하고 있습니다.
네, 감사합니다.
This question was over to Keria. This is your third match against G2 since the first round and the second round of the Rumble stage. So ever since the Rumble stage has proceeded, I think we were able to see more of solid T1 play. However, at the same time, this G2 series will not be easy for you. So what's your thought in general? And also, is there any concern regarding the G2 game? And his answer was, I really wanted to play best of 5 against both G2 and RNG. And if we get to beat G2 in the semifinals, there's a very high chance of meeting RNG as well. So I really want to take G2 down. And also, just like I said in the interview after the G2 match, as long as we can pull off our full potential against G2, I'm very confident to beat them without dropping any game.
네, 다음 질문으로 진행하겠습니다. 앞서 질문을 못하셨던 분 우선 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 스포츠 AI 김건혁 기자님 질문입니다. G2 캡스 선수에게 질문입니다. G2가 올해 양코스 선수와 캡스 선수만을 남긴 채 대규모 리빌딩을 단행했는데 리빌딩 첫 시즌 만에 스프링 시즌 우승과 함께 MSI 4강에 진출했습니다. 새로운 팀원들과 이렇게 좋은 성적을 낼 수 있게 된 원동력이 무엇이라고 생각하시는지 궁금합니다.
This question is over to Caps. This season was the season where G2 kind of made a full rebuild on the roster, just keeping Yankos and Caps. And you guys were able to win the trophy in the first season with the new lineup, and also you guys made it to the semifinals at MSI. So how were you guys able to perform so well with the new players?
I think we well, thank you for the question. And I think we had a long off season, partly because we didn't do very well last year. So we had a lot of time to figure out what we want to do for this year. And that meant we could do very early tryouts, which we've never really done before, and trying out a bunch of players. We had few requests a lot for staff as well. And it gave us the opportunity to figure out which players and staff fit us the best. And in the end, I think it showed off really well. I'm super happy with everyone who's been joining us, whether it's staff or players, how they've been contributing to our success. And I'm hoping that this semis and hopefully final as well will be, I guess, further good showing from us, because I think we have a very strong bond and a very good environment to get the best performance out of us.
네, 마지막 질문입니다. 게임 동화 조영준 기자님께서 캐리아 선수에게 주신 질문입니다. G2 라인 중에 가장 경계해야 되는 라인이 어디라고 생각하시는지 그 이유까지 궁금합니다.
일단 MSI 모든 팀들 경기 보면서 많이 좀 분석했었고 G2 경기를 보면서 제일 많이 들었던 생각은 그냥 생각보다 제 생각보다 좀 바텀 라이너 선수들의 움직임이 그렇게 생각보다 좋지 않았던 것 같고 그리고 제일 까다로운 움직임을 가진다고 생각했던 선수들은 그냥 캡스 선수랑 얀코스 선수였던 것 같아요.
This question was over to Kyria. Which lane or role of G2 do you think you should look out for the most? And his answer was, I've been analyzing a lot of stuff by watching every team play at MSI. And after watching G2 play, I kind of realized and figured that not their bottom laners are not actually like showing off the best performance compared to my expectation. And the ones that have the most tricky or the trickiest moves around the map was Caps and Yankos.
Okay, we will now transition to Chinese media questions. Roxy.
好的，我们现在接受中文媒体的提问。第一个问题想问问 Carrie，在下路对线的时候，一般角色是两人一起做，还是其中一个人主要来指挥呢？如何看待 ADC 和辅助这种角色方式？
The first question is over to Carrier. In the laning phase, who's the one like making the main decision? Is this the two of you make the decision together, or you have a man shot caller? And how do you feel about this kind of decision?
질문을 정확하게 이해 못해서 한 번만 다시 말씀 주시면. 뭐 다른 저의 기준으로는 이제 바텀 라이너를 쓸 때 이제 서포터가 더 많은 이제 의견 제시를 해야 된다 생각하고 그리고 그냥 저희는 그냥 상황에 맞게 자기가 원하는 플레이들을 서로 말하면서 주고받으면서 그렇게 이어나가고 있는 것 같아요. 저희 바텀들은.
So Kyria answered, I believe that during the laning phase on the bottom lane, I think supports should be the one being vocal about gameplays. And for us, I think we are having a lot of communication on how we want to play from both sides.
好的，下一个问题想问一下 Caps，作为队里的老大哥，今年队伍也有一些新的面孔，那例如Flackett 和 Takmas 都是第一次参加国际赛，请问你有分享过一些经验给他们吗？
This question is over to Caps as a veteran inside G2. And for this year, the teams have some rookies like Flackett and Togmers. This is their first time to be here on the international stage. So have you shared some experience to them?
I mean, I like to think so. I like to think that I guess, given them some of the experience from older tournaments. And yeah, I mean, I think these tournaments are always very, I guess, roller coasters, like this one in particular. But every tournament has its ups and downs. And I think just staying like level-headed and making sure you keep your own best performance, that's like the best you can do.
Great question.
캡스 선수의 답변.
好的，下一个问题想提问 Guma Yusi。G2 曾经多次在国际赛上击败过你们，那这次半决赛和 G2 交手有没有什么想对对手说的？
This question is over to Kumayushi. G2 got the win against T1 for so many times in the international stage, and this time the semifinal of MSI, you guys were able to face against each other again. So do you have any words you want to say to G2?
저도 앞부분을 제대로 못 들어서 다시 한번 말씀 부탁드려도 될까요? 아까도 말했듯이 예전 T1과 지금의 T1은 많이 다르다고 생각하고 뭐 G2에게 해주고 싶은 말이 있다면은 이번에는 이길 거라는 기대를 하지 말라는 말을 해주고 싶네요.
Kuma Yuzi answered, just like I mentioned earlier today, I believe T1 back then and T1 right now is really different. And also, I would like to say this, please do not expect to win this time around. Thank you.
下一个问题，哔哩哔哩。
你好，哔哩哔哩记者，想请问一下 G2 的2位，英雄联盟的玩家们来自全世界各地，对世界文化交流有非常了不起的成就。G2 的队员们也来自欧洲各个国家，大家的成长环境啊、语言文化也都有着不同的地方，但是这并不影响队员们配合如此精彩，成为世界一流的强队。想请问队伍里有因为文化冲突产生过问题吗？又是如何成功解决的呢？
This question is over to both players from G2. It feels like esports can be a very good platform for the cultural exchange and cultural communication. And as I believe in G2, you guys have different cultural background. So do you guys have some problems in solving with them? And how did you guys manage to handle with it to have a very good atmosphere? This question is to Caps and Fleckit. This question is to Caps and Fleckit. We all believe esports can be a super good platform for cultural exchange and cultural communication. And I believe in G2, you guys have different cultural background. So did you guys face any problem or issues in handling with a different cultural background? And how did you guys manage to handle with it so well in order to have such a good atmosphere as a whole?
I mean, definitely esports is kind of cool like that. I mean, I've been traveling all around the world, meeting people from all around the world, and we all have this common goal, or I guess common hobby of League of Legends, right? And a lot of the people I meet as well also have the common goal of becoming the best. And it has been awesome. It's been an awesome journey. I think specifically for us in G2, and even my past teams, we are definitely also coming from different backgrounds, different countries. I'm not sure if there's ever really been too many problems based on that. I feel like usually people are quite open-minded at dealing with whichever like have kind of the same expectations, because we try to set them very early on what our expectations are and how we want to work together. So I'm not sure if there's any like issues I can think of coming from that. Maybe people deal with problems differently. Some people are very open-minded at sharing their thoughts and feelings, while others might hold things back and try to be more polite. But there's not really any anything that we're not very effective at dealing with, I feel like. But maybe Flag has something.
I mean, to me, it's kind of what Gab said. In all of the teams I've been, I mean, I haven't been in many teams because I haven't been competing for like very long. But in all of the teams I've been, I think League links every single team member and every single people in staff and management. I think everyone, whenever they join a team, they always have the same goal. That is winning and becoming the best player possible. So I don't remember having any single problem with like all of my previous and actual, I mean, and current teammates. But yeah, I would say we're usually in esports we're like kind of young players with like not much experience in life, I would say. So, and everyone has the same passion for the game. So there's no like time for like conflicts between players because everyone is like, at least in my teams, everyone has always been really focused on winning and performing and having like a really good vibe inside the team. So for me, there has never been really big or serious issues.
Weird that there's literally no sound right now. While we're waiting for sound, I'll just say this. There's no way I could ever work in like journalism and media like this every day. No way.
好的，最后一个中文问题，想问一下Caps，对抗赛之前的比赛，你们和 T1 的两场胜负，两场交手互有胜负，那么在接下来 BO5 的对抗中需要注意一些什么呢？
So this question is over to Caps. Based on the results between G2 and T1, you guys have a 1-1 scoreline based on the head-to-head records. So in the upcoming best of 5, which part do you think you need to pay more attention to in order to have a very good performance?
What?
I mean, I think there's a lot of things, like a lot of goals we have coming into the series and things we want to make sure go right. The 2 games we have were quite different in their own rights. I think a big thing for us is like coming in confident and playing with that confidence. I think the second game, like second time we met T1, we were starting to go on the losing streak after breaking the win streak, and I think that hurt our confidence somewhat. And we were overthinking things a bit and being to some extent a bit indecisive. And we didn't play with the same confidence we had previously. But I think at this point we have kind of overcome now the losing streak and we're starting a new win streak. So I think with that in mind, we will look to come in with a lot of confidence, and based on a lot of the scouting we have been doing and will be doing the next 2 days, I'm sure we can figure out some good strategies to take down T1.
Thank you, everyone. That's all the time we have for questions today. Please make sure to join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. KST for RNG versus EG. And on Saturday, May 28th at 5 p.m. KST, we will have T1 versus G2. Thank you.
And thus ends the press conferences of MSI. No questions asked, but that's fine. Once again, somewhat expected, but could never be a journalist like in esports. I couldn't imagine going through like half the shit that they have to go through just to get questions from people, just to get interviews and articles, especially if you don't like have a reputation early. Like, I do not envy the people that want to go that route. Like, you're 100% better in every capacity, like going the sports route that has established media protocols. Yeah, it's more shark eat shark, but like, damn. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, one more opportunity for questions. I'm not going to be waking up for the matches, so this is probably going to be my last chance, and it's a potential interview with the head of esports at Riot Games. I want to talk about New York City stuff. We'll see if we get it. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. Hope you all have a good night. I'm going back to bed.